When people think of films created by the legendary Hayao Miyazaki, there's a group of films which usually come to mind first. Films like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, House Moving Castle, and Princess Mononoke are some of the most acclaimed films ever and have been praised by animation fans and cinephiles alike for decades. Now, whilst I do love all of those movies, none of them even come close to my favourite Miyazaki film. That film is Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes, this relatively simple story about a witch just sort of chilling and flying around on a broom spoke to me in so many ways to the point that I ended up preferring it to the dark, gritty, or fantastical other works that Miyazaki has created. But why is that? Well, before I get personal, there's just so much in this movie that I need to praise. The animation here is absolutely spectacular, with so much gorgeous scenery that Studio Ghibli movies are known for. However, the natural landscapes are not the only scenery captured well here, unlike a lot of the other naturalistic Ghibli movies. In this film, there is a large emphasis placed on the bustling city, which would normally be more drab looking and less visually appealing, but once again it looks stunning here. I love the Swedish architectural inspiration, and the overall colours and bright lighting alongside the slightly more simplistic but expressive animation allows it all to stick out in my mind. And then there's the flying scenes themselves, which are just simply breathtaking. Miyazaki just loves his flying scenes, and he's really got a talent for showing his joys of flying in his movies. The beauty, the excitement, and the whimsy is all understood when Kiki flies on her broom. It is clear to everyone that she loves what she does, and that helps to make the film more endearing for the audience, as the clear passion that a character has for something always rubs off on an audience to create a more positive feeling. Alongside the animation, another thing which aids the beauty of the film is the music. Joe Hisaishi is one of my absolute favourite film composers because he just knows how to make a film score simultaneously low-key and endearing. His scores are generally pretty sweet and simple to listen to, and are the kinds of things that you could put on in the background when you're writing or something. However, it still fits miraculously within the films themselves because, well, the films are pretty chill with a large emphasis on slower, simpler scenes. The music never gets in the way and instead fits really well. This fact absolutely applies to Kiki's Delivery Service, where the music largely remains upbeat and pleasant. I think the song currently playing, titled A Town with an Ocean View, fits the movie the best, as it's not only pleasant and endearing, but it's also quite plucky and shows excitement, which reflects Kiki's feelings throughout the first half of the film where this song is used more, where she's captivated by the world around her. Speaking of Kiki's feelings, that leads me on nicely to the main appeal of the film for me. You see, Kiki's main problem throughout the movie, particularly in the second half, is the fact that she's overworking herself. Kiki loves flying on a broom, but she equally needs to make money to sustain herself in her years training away from home. Therefore, she decides to turn her passion for flying into a job by setting up a delivery service. Yet, largely due to a plethora of bad luck, Kiki struggles with the delivery service to the point that she begins to overwork herself, even though she loves what she does. The delivery service becomes the main thing she focuses on, she gets upset when things don't go to plan, and she becomes less sociable as a result. And then she loses her ability to fly. Oh my god, this is a movie about burnout. Was this tailor-made for me or something? Seriously, I can't even begin to put into words how much I needed this movie. As someone who does content creation on this channel for a hobby, burnout is a fear I constantly have, and I did end up experiencing it badly a few years ago. As a result, a movie like this which discusses burnout in a unique and easy to understand way was so gratifying for me. And then it gets even better with the inclusion of Ursula, who is a painter. She talks to Kiki about the time she feels like she loses the ability to paint as a result of her own burnout, and this scene is a brilliant way to allow any member of the audience to connect with the themes of the film, as they can see it from multiple perspectives. It doesn't matter whether you're creative or practical with your work, burnout can affect everyone, and it was so great to see a movie acknowledge this. However, this scene also provides a fantastic message on how to overcome burnout. Ursula basically tells Kiki, and thus the audience as well, to just take a break. Sounds simple, but trust me, it works. People don't think that the solution is that simple, but when it's actually spelled out and eventually acted upon, it can work wonders for a person and really help them out. I can safely say that I've followed the example set by this movie over the past year, which has thus helped me to avoid potential burnout situations. Anytime I get close to burnout, I just simply stop and chill instead like Kiki did at Ursula's cabin. Very few films have genuinely helped me out in life, but this is one of the few that has. This reason alone is why I adore this film as much as I do, and the spectacular animation and music are able to elevate it even further. However, alongside all of that, I also love this film because it's honestly just so wholesome and sweet. I know for a lot of people that Totoro is the movie they go to in order to feel happy, and that's definitely understandable. However, Kiki is the one which just does it for me. The whimsy and magic of the more fantastical elements of the story, combined with the sweet characters, just make this a joy to watch. Seriously, I love basically all the characters in this movie. Well, except for her. Kiki is not only relatable for me, but she's also lovable, innocent, and well-meaning, and she's a joy to watch as a protagonist. And then there's Gigi. Oh man, I love this cat so freaking much. Yes, they may be a snarky character, but they hit that right balance which doesn't make them annoying, and instead makes them hilarious and a freaking mood sometimes. Also, let's be real here, it's the perfect personality for a cat to have.
Seriously, I stan Gigi.
And then there's the side characters who are also all memorable. I mean, we've got the caring, nurturing Asono, her husband, who I swear gets like 2 lines of dialogue in the whole movie, yet he's also incredibly memorable for me. Tombo, who's really funny and enthusiastic, and those 2 precious old ladies who cook the herring pie. I usually hate seafood, but man, the passion these ladies had for making it, alongside the animation which made the pie look so tasty, made me actually want to eat it. Screw their ungrateful granddaughter, even if I do technically still have the same opinion as her. Oh, when those ladies bake Kiki that pie, oh man, cuteness overload right there. I think this may be one of 2 times where I've cried at watching a movie because of how sweet and wholesome it is, and no, I'm not embarrassed to admit that. This whole movie just does a great job at either making me invested through relatable themes and messages, or it just simply brings me so much joy. This is the kind of movie I could watch to brighten any bad day, and I know this from experience. You see, I first watched this movie exactly 1 year ago today, the 3rd of January 2023. Now, I'm not going to say that I was in a bad place at the time or anything like that, as that's an insult to people who are actually struggling with issues. However, I still wasn't exactly in the best mood, as there was just a lot of small problems I was facing which all built up and brought down my overall mood. My headphones broke and I needed to get new ones, but it was hard doing that immediately after Christmas. My USB drive, which I used to use to transfer audio files to my phone, also broke, which was a problem for me back then, as I used to edit videos on my phone, so I thus had to delay a video which I was really passionate about until I got a new USB, which was not fun. I also couldn't even enjoy a social occasion with my friends, as one of them got sick on the day we were going to do something. The day was still enjoyable, but it just wasn't as good as it could have been. And to top it all off, my Christmas break ended that year on the 3rd of January, which meant that the day after I watched this movie was when I was going to have to go back to doing work, and I wasn't exactly looking forward to that, let me tell you. So overall, not the best start to 2023. But then I watched this movie, and the joy that it brought me ended up improving my mood so much that I was actually happy by the end of the day. All the problems I was worried about just sort of fizzled away. This movie has honestly just impacted me so much, whether it's teaching me what to do about burnout or improving my mood during a miserable time. And honestly, that's the main reason for why I love it, and the main reason for why I wanted to make this love letter to the film. I know this is different to my usual content, as I'm usually more analytical, and trust me, I probably will do a more detailed analysis on this film in the future. However, I just really wanted to make an emotionally driven love letter to a movie I adore on the anniversary of when I first watched it, just to talk about the impact it has had on me over the past year. It may not be my favourite movie of all time, hell, it's not even my favourite Ghibli movie as Whisper of the Heart exists. However, it is easily one of the most important films I've watched in recent times, and I honestly owe it a lot. If you haven't seen it, you are seriously missing out, as it's just immaculate. Either way, thank you all for watching me gush about one of my favourite films, and let me know if you want more of these emotionally driven love letters in the future. Take care everyone, and goodbye.